This is the Washington Times front page for Tuesday, December 6th, 2022. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. Early voting has become standard in American elections in recent decades, upending campaigning in the final stretch of races, including today's Senate race in Georgia. Seth McLaughlin reports nearly 1.9 million ballots had been cast a month ago when incumbent Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker each fell short of the 50% mark and ended up in today's runoff election. The race is the last Senate seat on the board. A win by Warnock would give Democrats an outright 51-49 Senate majority, providing slightly more wiggle room in the narrowly divided chamber. If Walker wins, the 100-member Senate would remain evenly divided, with Democrats holding power thanks to Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. Political views are dictating where people decide to live or work, alongside considerations such as cost of living and job opportunities. Tom Howe reports it's sparking talk of a great decoupling, in which Americans sort themselves by ideology and create deeper shades of red and blue pockets across the country. Economic opportunity is upending the political makeup of a state or calcifying an ideology within a region. Those flocking to manufacturing jobs in Texas, for example, work hard but might not have lofty degrees, bringing with them conservative worldviews. Conversely, an influx of college-educated voters is giving states such as North Carolina and Georgia a more liberal bent in recent years. Other states are undergoing single-party takeovers. 37 states have trifectas, where the same party controls the governor's office and both state house chambers. Republicans control 23 of these states, and Democrats control 14, according to Ballotpedia. This Christmas season's hottest toy doesn't have a touchscreen, doesn't link to Wi-Fi, and doesn't use artificial intelligence, and it doesn't even light up. Squishmallows, a series of plush toys that can be up to 2 feet long, recently won the Toy Association's Toy of the Year and People's Choice Awards. Sean Salai reports industry analysts say they're the favorite this holiday season as pandemic-weary Americans seek to wean their children off of screens and stretch their budgets to offset inflation. Market researchers say consumer demand for low-tech toys less than $50 is also ticking up for classics such as Barbies and Hot Wheels. Rising demand and global supply chain problems have impacted the costs of manufacturing, labor, raw materials, and other components across the industry. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. The Supreme Court's upcoming case on who holds the final say on election rules has taken on dramatic proportions, with advocates warning nothing short of American democracy is at stake. Legal scholars are more circumspect, Alex Warrior reports, though some echo the activists' warnings that elections could look markedly different if the justices side with North Carolina legislators and rule that state assemblies, not state courts, have the final say in how elections are conducted. The case grew out of a dispute over North Carolina's congressional map drawn after the 2020 census. A state court struck down the map drawn by the Republican-controlled legislature as an illegal partisan gerrymander and imposed its own map. Republican lawmakers say the Constitution's election clause means state assemblies set final rules that state courts can't override. Opponents say that would upend the way that elections are conducted. And finally, a top Twitter attorney who supported censoring a story about Hunter Biden's laptop also helped set into motion the FBI's investigation into now debunked claims of Trump-Russia collusion. Susan Ferricchio reports former Twitter Deputy General Counsel and Vice President James Baker spent 4 years as the top lawyer for the FBI. It was there in 2016 that he linked up Democratic operative Michael Sussman with top FBI investigators. Sussman passed along claims that Trump was in contact with a Russian bank. Twitter staff blocked the story, labeling it unsafe, and prevented users from sharing links to the story via direct message. Twitter also temporarily suspended the account of the New York Post in response to the paper's initial tweeting of the laptop story. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.